Okay.
All right, and we have a handshake.
All right. Round 1.
And we are off, both duelists drawing 5. And it looks like Jesse has gotten first, and there's Magical Abductor straight out the bat. Another good old friend that we haven't seen.
Yeah, that came in the
some time.
Endymion structure deck as well.
And there's Into the Void, as we said, so he is going to get some easy spell counters, and luckily we have visuals on those.
And apologies right now for the inverted camera. We're going to fix that in between rounds for you guys so that it's the correct way for the next round. We didn't realize it was flipped, so apologies there.
And he's reading Citadel of Endymion. This does have 5 effects. It's almost like it was made for modern day YuGiOh.
Right, exactly. So it gains spell counters every time you play it. If like a monster would like die that has spell counters, you put its spell counters on Endymion. It can like protect itself if you take a spell counter off. Like it's just got so many different effects.
Is it just monsters or cards? Because the pendulum cards would.
It might be cards as well. I don't remember for sure.
Oh, and here we see Dragon Shrine. So a lot of the decks are actually playing the Guard Dragon engine using Destrudo and Dark Worm.
Well, this could just be Dark Worm.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to see it later.
Yeah.
If everything goes according
That's
to
true,
plan.
yeah. But for the most part, I mean, typical Pendulum fodder. Dark Worm is one of the strongest Pendulum cards, like, ever.
It just happens to be a dragon, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
Gives you the free +1.
And if everything goes well for Jesse here, he's going to be able to also power up another spell by playing it in the Pendulum Zone.
Absolutely. Lightning Strike clarified in the chat that Endymion is, or excuse me, Magical City of Endymion is any card.
Okay.
So that's good. So we'll count the Pendulum cards as well, which makes sense. I imagined it would, but yeah, I want to make sure. So Jose reading Servant of Endymion. Servant of Endymion also has like 5 cards, or 5 different effects rather. I think.
And there's the second spell counter and one of our new Endymion cards.
Right, so Servant of Endymion basically allows you to special summon from the deck when you have 2 spell counters. Quickly waving off the group chat.
The tournament.
I'm online too much.
You've been hanging on YouTube
I
too
have
long.
been, yeah. Waving out to the fans there really quick.
So popping out 2 cards.
Right,
here.
so Servant of Endymion, you can remove 3 spell counters while it's in the Pendulum Zone to special summon itself from the Pendulum Zone and a monster that can take a spell counter from your deck with 1,000 or more attacks. So Jesse is going to summon out the big boy, Endymion, the master of magic.
Quickly makes Electromite with 2 in the extra deck already, which we know he's going to be able to go places and get the extra scale.
Absolutely.
Should everything still be going smoothly.
Right.
I cannot see anything into Jose's hand, so I can't tell if he has a hand trap, but it looks
Right.
like he's considering. And there is Impermanence on the Electromite.
Now that's really good because it stops the send, and the fact that it only gains all the other effects as well, so he won't be able to pop, and he won't be able to get a draw. So it's not Ogre because he still has the zones, but did Jesse just pass? No, he didn't. Okay, I thought I saw the hand there.
And he,
Tributing for a Jackal King.
ooh, and now he passes. That
Wow, that's rough.
is so unfortunate.
Now, he will, if Jose activates a single spell, there will be enough spell counters for Jackal to negate a monster effect. So, because Jackal can take from anywhere, which is
But
pretty
it looks
cool.
like he's starting with Gazelle and is very aware of the fact so far that that could happen.
Now, starting with Gazelle isn't always the strongest play for Salamangreat. You know, typically you want to see your Lady Debug, you want to start with Spinny with Gazelle in hand.
It looks like an Ash Blossom activated earlier that we missed too.
Oh, okay.
So he had 2 interruptions. And there goes Spinny, and straight up into Magister Leo. Usually you don't see that too early because you can't link it away for Bailings, but you can go into Sunlight Wolf later with it.
Right. And again, like I said, leading off with Gazelle is usually indicative that the hand is not that strong, but we don't know what else he has, to be fair. He could have like Fusion of Fire or something, and that's perfectly fine. But it's...
We do see the Graveyard, I believe Destrudo was discarded. Or did he discard his hand for Into the Void?
I believe he discarded his hand for Into the Void.
That's why it's on top.
Right. So we will have that Destrudo for next turn, and Salamangreat, you know, can sometimes have difficulty amassing the 8,000 damage for the OTK, but Mirage Stallion, with its effect, since it was used for a Link Summon, is going to bounce the Jackal King away. Jose not using any spells so that Jackal King could not get the effect negation from the spell counter, so that was very very smart play on his part.
And now we're going to see how much damage he can pump out going second with relatively minimal interruptions so far, it would seem.
Right.
And Bale Link's coming out now. We get the field spell searched out. Everything's looking really good. Now he's going to be able to start linking away with ease.
The thing is, Jose's in a really good position because he's going to be able to set up his board. He's most likely going to be able to get to Salamangreat Roar. And remember, Jesse discarded his whole hand with Into the Void.
Yeah.
So he's only playing with an Abductor, a Citadel, and a Destrudo Engrave. So it's going to be a bit difficult here for him.
A very
to come back.
uphill battle.
Yeah. So we see him going off to a Link 3, the Heat Leo, and he's going to go ahead and shuffle the Abductor back. I think that's very smart, just to deny him of any resources. I think this is indicative too that he's not going to OTK him this turn, so that he's just slowly picking away at the back row.
Yeah, and then he's going to be able to set up with negation or
Right.
pops depending on what he has. And he's actually entering the battle phase now.
Right. So that's going to be 2,300 damage.
2,300.
I believe. Heat Leo, not the strongest Link 3, but it's good enough. Its effects are really
Wait,
strong.
Jesse still has his hand. So the table judge didn't notice the Into the Void resolution.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, he just shuffled
Oh,
his draw
okay.
into his hand. But it looks like he's scooping it up anyways.
Okay, so doesn't matter.
Issue,
Yep.
issue.
So
Okay,
going to
good.
game 2, that was pretty quick.
Yeah.
So we saw that we were talking about this before in the before we started the stream that the Endymion deck is very fragile in certain places, and apparently Jose was able to get there and just take game 1. And then from Jesse, I don't really know exactly what he would want to be siding for.
Because his core strategy is so straightforward. I really don't know how they do.
And the thing is, Pendulum in general is a combo deck, right?
He knows he's going first again. He
exactly.
has access to it.
So he's just going to want to combo off as hard as
and
possible.
here's Abductor again. He's going to attempt. And here's
into the void.
again.
Okay.
And I think I saw a Veiler, but not 100. No, that looks like Foxy. Trying to see.
That's actually the other. That's Foxer.
Oh.
Because it's pink. Foxy is blue. So this play is looking very standard to the opening last turn, except he has a lure this time to follow up.
Free spell counters everywhere
Absolutely.
now.
I really like that Jesse's just maximizing his spell counters with just draw cards, because then he's going to draw into more spells, more spell counters. Banishing Destrudo.
He probably plays multiple if he's doing that, I have to imagine. Or it's, I had to do this play.
Yeah. Or it's just an optimal.
Now,
for the
I believe the field spell allows you once per turn to replace counters for a play.
Correct, yes. It's once per turn. And that's very powerful depending. So we see Abductor's going to come down
And
here.
there's
Ogre.
We were talking about this before the stream. Ogre just seems to be the bane of the Pendulum deck. It may not be all Ogre now, but that sure hurt.
It only took the first round.
First game. We knew it was coming. So we see a Magister of Endymion coming down. So Servant of Endymion, when it gets 3 spell counters, you get to special summon itself from the zone and a monster from your deck. Magister special summons itself and a monster face up in your extra deck. So right now, this isn't too optimal because he doesn't have anything in the extra deck. He might just be trying to use it just to get more spell counters on his Citadel, or to just build it up maybe for later if he can dump something with like an Electromite play.
Well, here comes Dragon Shrine again.
Okay, so we could potentially see a...
Darkworm is sent to the graveyard, it looks like.
So Darkworm getting sent.
And Darkworm's pretty huge for him because he's going to be able to special summon it back relatively free and get Gate 0, which will give more spell counters as well as a scale.
Correct, and I believe Magister is actually a high scale, if my memory serves, and Gate 0 is a low scale, so he would have a Pendulum summon live if that happens.
And Pot of Desires, more draw power. There's just no end to how many cards he seems to be drawing this turn and going through to get those free spell counters.
Can I just tell you how happy I am this got reprinted?
Oh, the common?
The common. That is such a good reprint. Like, good on you, Konami. I really approve
Now
of
we
that.
have 3, right?
Where's my ultimate rare?
Secret, Ultra, and Common. Yeah.
Common, yes. Ultimate Rare Desires.
Ultimate Rare will be awesome.
It's in
for
Japan.
OTS back.
It's
Yeah.
in Japan, buddy. I'm sorry.
Rarity collection, my bad.
Best set ever. All right, so Desires resolving.
There's a Cerberus to scale, okay. And this is going to pop out and bring Abductor with it. He is going for the Link Summon up
Yes.
into Electromite. He is knowing exactly where he's going, and his opponent does seem to be okay with
Yes. So Magister was able to special summon the Abductor, because that got ogred, so that went to the extra deck. I forgot that that was in the extra deck. It wasn't face up.
it. And it looks like
So-
Electromite's going to be allowed to play this game so far, as the effect seems to be activating. So Jesse's going to show what his strategy can really do, depending on what that Desire's banished.
That's true, because, if Desire's banished, God forbid, all 3 copies of Endymion, that would not bode too well. But again, statistically, that's not very unlikely to happen.
We're getting a pretty good look at his deck so far.
So he still has a Servant.
And he has 5-hole counters on the field spell, by the way.
That's true. So he has not used the effect of the field spell for any of the cost of his cards yet. So
He is
that's good.
racking up spell counters better than any deck I've seen do it to this point.
Saw an Upstart Goblin in there, another Dragon Shrine.
It's been a while since I've had an Upstart activated on me with these time rules.
Looks like he's going for... So he has Endymion right there. That's the card on the top of his deck. I couldn't tell what the card is he picked out, though.
Somebody in the chat is saying Ghost Bell.
It's in the graveyard.
Oh, did it stop the Dark Worm? So that's what happened. We missed another interaction. I
Oh,
suppose.
Ghost Spell. Okay.
So that's what stopped Dark Worm from
That makes
being a
sense.
play.
Yeah, that's why Jose's at 3 cards now.
Yeah,
That makes
Jose
sense.
having multiple interruptions. Stream chat really helping out. Thank you guys so much.
So another Abductor coming down, and he's using the effect of Endymion to use the Abductor for its search effect.
Remember that it actually, I don't think Jesse's trying to abuse it, but it does have a monster effect that allows you to search stuff like Droll and Lock.
It
It's
does,
really awesome.
exactly. It only searches, I believe, level 1 spellcasters,
Yeah.
which Droll happens to randomly be.
Veiler.
Veiler's a spellcaster, you're right.
But he is also using Into the Void to dump the hand.
Right, so it's a little bit contradictory.
Yeah.
But, okay, so now he's going to get Endymion down. So he's scaling Endymion for 4 counters on the Endymion and then 1 on Abductor. So he's 1 away from being able to special out that Endymion, but it's not really going to do too much for him at the moment. Oh, he's going to Pendulum Summon.
Pendulum
okay.
Summon. And
So
there
Dark
is
Worm,
Dark
Jackal King, 2 Jackal Kings. Oh, that's really good because Jackal King isn't a hard once per turn.
Yeah, it's just a once per turn.
Correct, and he has enough spell counters that he can do 2 monster negates.
This
All
is
right.
finally-
And here's the Guard Dragon engine we've been waiting for.
Oh man.
And he goes up into Triple Burst, which will also allow him to potentially seek out Agripane, maybe.
So yeah, Jose picked up his hand. Does he have another disruption, maybe?
And here comes Dark Worm from deck.
I would lose my mind if he's got another one.
If he has another hand trap, that would just be crazy.
Jesse's just trying to make his plays, and Jose's making it so that he
And-
can
All right, so Dark Worm netting the gate 0.
Yep, LP being the summoner and having the correct zone. And here we go into
Agripane.
Agripane.
There it is. Now Agripane allowing to special summon from the extra deck, and it's Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon.
Very interesting and nice. And there's a Heavenly Sphere.
Hieratic Seal, Heavenly Spheres. This is such an underrated card out of Dual Power.
I know, I
This card
expected it
is
to
so
change
good.
so much for the next YCS series, but here we are, the Pro Play Game Series, already seeing it take effect.
Yeah. What's really nice about it, especially in complements with the Guard Dragon engine, it allows you to get out of the...
Oh, he scooped?
Jose scooped!
Oh, wow.
Wow, going to game 3.
Nothing like the game itself.
Sure, good handshake from the players. Gotta love that sportsmanship.
Drawing 5 and looking to see if he has interruptions, mayhaps, or doesn't need to look at all, maybe not playing them.
Yeah.
I will have my first, like, oh my god moment if he flips anti-spell.
So, Jose, like I said, he's looking really strongly at his time. It does seem that he was managed to scoop up there, now has over half the clock left and can really kind of try to consider more so.
I like this, though. He's really taking his time. So that way, you know, he has time on the clock. He has over 20 minutes left. He can really just think it through on what he wants to do. And it looks like he's finally decided and committed to a move, potentially.
And there it is.
Oh, normal summon of Jack Jaguar. That is not a good start.
But we're going to go up into Balinks and see what we can get. There's going to be the field spell. Oh, Jesse does look at his hand. Oh, the okie doke.
Uh-oh.
Did I have something? All right, that's fine.
So we get the Sanctuary.
When you open the one off, feels like I'm playing Talking Tom board.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's as bad as Takatombor, because at least you can kind of do something, but
I think that's a spinny in
that
hand.
is a spinny in hand, correct.
And
So
there
he's
it
going to
goes.
discard it for that, and he's going to resurrect it now. Now this will allow him to go, oh!
Okay.
We got the Psychic, it's not Wielder, it's the other one.
Oh, I can't remember exactly.
It's the I don't synchro version.
Right,
Yeah.
correct. So it doesn't matter, it's just Mirage Stallion fodder here. And it looks like Jesse, oh, he was feigning a hand trap there for a second, but Mirage Stallion is going to resolve.
I think bluffing is a little bit of a lost art, and when things can fly out of the hand at any
Sure.
moment, putting your opponent on edge is a very sign of a seasoned veteran here as well on the other side. I think it's completely undervalued.
Absolutely. So he's going to get Gazelle from the deck now, so that is going to allow him to send the Roar.
Yep.
And that's good because he already has Sanctuary, so he can Reincarnation Link Summon, get that Roar back with its effect, unless he does something with a Falco at some point, which I don't foresee him doing. But Sunlight Wolf coming down.
All of chat would like to inform us that is Psychic Tracker.
Psychic Tracker, thank you, chat.
Awesome job by Jose for opening up pretty wonky with the Jack Jaguar, but he is essentially
He is
done
going
the,
straight up the
yeah,
line.
he's done the
Yeah.
exact play he wants to play, just in a complete different way.
Absolutely. He's still getting to that same end board that he wants to
Yep.
be on.
Still getting the trap card in the grave. That just goes to show you how much he knows his deck.
Sure. So Sunlight Wolf grabbing back the counter trap, not using the effect, so that means he has it for more recursion on his later turns. And he's going to set the
2.
Roar, presumably, and 1 other back row.
So I don't think we're going to see an anti-spell just flip up here. And Jesse taking this is what I would do. Like, main phase 1 good? No Denko.
So Abductor, so no Denko. It's okay, though.
The dream has been shut down.
Again, these decks are designed to play through multiple disruptions.
And he has tons of draw power, though, if he has indeed sided it in. And there is Dragon Shrine. He really wants this to go through. Dark Worm is one of the essential starters.
Would you roar Dragon Shrine if you were the Salamangreat player?
I think it's one of the greatest cards you want to stop, but it also feels like Pendulums have so many power plays it hurts. There's an
Ash! He doesn't even have to. That's pretty big. Dragon Shrine also hard ones per turn.
Yeah, that is huge on saving. But it is still a spell that activates, so Abductor does get a counter.
See, that's the thing with Roar, though. Roar would make it so that its activation's negated, so he would not. Correct. Yes.
I think you just still use the Ash.
I agree. I still think
correct.
if you have the Ash, I think that's perfectly acceptable. Ash is not really that good against the Pendulum decks, typically.
Now, Simo, why isn't Grandpa Simo out here on commentary today?
Grandpa Simo is fishing currently.
I think he costs too much. He's above our pay grade.
Yeah,
We couldn't afford Grandpa Simo.
Yeah. He's in the god tier pay grade. Oh, there is a Denko.
Wow.
Okay.
I popped off. I'm sorry. I could not contain my excitement.
Interesting.
And here we go.
Here's an allure.
This is exactly the situation I was talking about. You have a draw power. You have a consideration.
No,
he was trying to bait certain things, and maybe he was trying to bait that Ash Blossom
That's
itself.
true. That's absolutely true. So 2 counters on Abductor now.
Jesse,
And there's
And there
Endymion.
is the Citadel.
he's going to proceed to do whatever he
And that
wants
puts
at
the
this point.
3rd counter, and we've got a search coming out. Jesse, it really feels like he has him right where he wants him. And you can almost see it on the face of Jose. It's like, you've taken away my back row.
Abductor is such a good card. Like, it is so good. 740 of you guys in here watching this. Thank you guys
One of Pro Play
all so
Games'
much.
own, Andres Torres, used Abductor in his Pendulum win. I remember that profile.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's some Yu-Gi-Oh history right there.
That's going
Back to monkey board days.
I was going to say,
Monkey board.
Oh yeah.
let's never do that again.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my
Yet another
co-commentator's
point.
flashbacks.
No, we don't speak
And
about
here
those
we
times.
finally see Endymion once again, the boss of this deck, going to
Correct.
Jesse's hand.
Endymion having at least 6 effects. Maybe 7, I'm not sure last time I counted.
He got lost
It's
in
such
the
a
sauce.
powerful card, though.
And
A Pankratops.
Very nice.
Okay.
looks like Jesse has drawn
Wow.
quite a bit of his side deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
presumably.
Denko and Pankratops.
Pankratops being the card that sides in for any deck.
The thing about Pankratops, how can a card so good exist that you don't want to play in your main deck?
Yeah.
Isn't it so bizarre?
You know what? You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Everyone plays it in the side, and no
Yep.
matter what the matchup is, the first card you cited,
Pankratops. Yep. It's so strong.
Now there is the Bale links as he goes. Is this battle phase or is he?
Yeah, he's going to battle.
I would assume because otherwise it tributes for cost.
Yes.
So he would have gotten rid of that.
That would be, is that what, 600 damage?
That's 600 damage, correct.
Now this is one of the few turns I think we have not seen Into the Void. We've seen Allure and other.
We've just seen Allure, yes. So he's going to banish the Bailing, so Mirage Stallion will survive.
He needs to do it because he wants
So
to.
main phase 2, Endymion comes down, and he might be trying to go for that pop-off effect with Endymion. Because since Denko has the traps turned off, if he can amass 6 spell counters, Endymion can pop his whole board.
That's true. Also.
Oh, actually, no. He only has 2 cards on his field that can hold spell counters, so Endymion would pop... actually, Endymion, I think, counts itself, so that'd be 3 cards he could pop.
I really am curious how hard he could turbo off knowing that Ash has been jebaited.
Right. We'll just have to see if he can get to those 6 spell counters, though.
Now, guys, do you think he should be protecting his Mirage Salio here to get rid of Denko next turn if he only plays 1 in the extra deck?
Well, the thing is, too, you also get the value off Mirage Stallion because you get an extra summon,
Yeah.
too. So,
There's a multitude of ways he's going to be able to deal with Denko. It's more so his consideration of when do I want to use this card in graveyard.
yeah. Because the thing is, all 3 of his monsters can actually use Denko's effect. Oh, and actually he passed. Okay, so Mirage Stallion coming out. I didn't even see that Jesse passed the turn.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah. So, okay.
He's going to keep going.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to see an Endymion for 3 right there. That would have been sick. But, so, Mirage Stallion grabbing a copy of Foxy out of the deck.
He just has so much going for him in terms of how he's going to be able to link up. Really, the only interaction that we know of so far is the Pankratops. It'll be interesting to see if there is any actual hand disruption, but considering the last turn, first turn of the duel, there wasn't. And he's only drawn so many new cards and we kind of have no cards in hand. I feel like Jose is going to be fairly confident playing around everything except Pankratops.
Yeah, and the strong thing is, like, Jose right now with his current board, all 3 of those monsters can kill Denko.
Oh,
They
yeah.
all have higher attack. So
And there's another
there's a
Balings.
Balings. I think that's good if you get a Balings engraved, so that way you can actually protect any of your Salamangreat cards from a Pankratops pop.
Jesse continuing that hand check kind of motion to put some fear in, but I think at this point Jose is going to start moving with a little more confidence.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think Jesse has anything to stop what he's doing at this point. Especially
Almost
after he passed.
800 duelists watching this. This is crazy.
Oh my god. You guys are crazy.
Do I have to raise the bar to 1,000?
I don't know.
Have to do it?
If we hit 1,000, I don't know. That would be ridiculous.
If we hit 1,000, we put John Moore in a speedo, shut off a new bod.
All right.
We'll do it.
All right. Hear that?
Oh,
You better find a fitting. So we see a Link pot 3 or 4 play here. It looks like a Link 3. So we see
That
a
is a
Heat
Heat
Leo. Heat Leo would be able to spin back one of the pendulum scales, and it has protection.
oh
from
no,
it.
he goes straight
Oh,
for the Danko, so his back row are back online, which if he does have one that can
No,
pop,
yeah, so that's from the Mirage Stalio being used as Link material. So Heat
yeah.
Leo can still shuffle a card back. And now because he has Balings engraved, it actually has protection from the Pankratops.
Which is why I think he went with all 3 monsters as Link
I
materials.
agree,
Yeah.
yes.
He wanted to get the Balings and the Jack Jaguar engraved.
Correct. Okay, so now we see another Balings coming down from the use of Foxy,
And
and now a
Gazelle.
Gazelle coming out of the hand, leaping out of the hand.
I don't think he used the effect of Heat Leo to spin a back.
He did not use the effect of Heat Leo. And it looks like he sent, I can't tell if that's Rage or Roar, but he did send a Trap with the effect of Gazelle.
I'm pretty sure we know
It's Rage, okay. Rage could be pretty strong here because if he can Reincarnation Link summon his Heat Leo, that could be a 3 pops. And so he's going to special summon Foxy, and Foxy can actually pop a card when he gets special summoned.
Yeah,
Kind of your impromptu spinny if you need to.
Jesse is really in a tight spot here.
Right. Now he does have Endymion. And Endymion does have a spell counter on it. And remember, Jose is also locked into fire effects because he did use Mirage Stalio's effect. It shouldn't matter too much, but...
Oh, he's getting rid of the abductor, so the spell counter does transfer to...
Correct. Endymion's
Oh, we
effect
see a
will
red
take this...
Reaper.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Did we catch to see what monster that was in his hand?
I didn't see the
Red
monster.
Reboot, yeah.
Yeah.
Saw a red reboot, though.
Yeah, I didn't see what the other monster
I
was
just
in
thought
his hand.
it ain't all bluffs.
The thing is, though, Roar can negate red reboot.
But you see the smart thing Jesse has done? Every time he's sensed that he has an interruption, it's been towards monster plays, completely masking the red reboot.
Yes.
These are
I
the
didn't even
kinds
catch
of
that,
levels
yeah,
I
absolutely.
like to see in gameplay in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh!
Absolutely. Just the dimension that you get.
What's up, guys? So how does he get over this Pankratops, though?
Well, he's most likely going to try to just force it to get rid of itself by making a play it can't ignore.
So Reincarnation Summon on the Heat Leo. Heat Leo can actually just alter the attack of Pankratops, because he could just banish one of his monsters to reduce its attack. So that is a possible play, and that's the only way I think he'd be able to get over it. And in that case, Jesse would just actually probably use Pankratops to pop a card.
yeah, like I said, he's going to try to push him to
Right.
a situation where he has to use the Pankratops.
It was like he spun the other scale when he reincarnated some of the Heat Leo.
Yeah, he's trying to leave Jesse with as few cards and resources as possible, trying to make sure that I'm going to have a negate. Popsy's feeling good right now. Little does he know there is a red reboot, but even if Jesse does have to use that, that's going to not only set the card, but give him another for the next turn, unfortunately.
But that's how you should play. If you can't kill your opponent, you got to take away as many
Yeah.
resources that they have as possible. We see Jack Jaguar getting special summon to Heat Leo's zone with its effect.
Yeah, he is maximizing what he can do here.
I mean, it looks like he's just trying to push as much damage as possible.
And we see maybe considerations, or yeah, he's attacking and it's going to take it down.
Okay, so it looks like I'm pretty sure he used the effect of Heat Leo.
Oh, he's using Pankratops effect now, and
Right,
he's
and
going
Roar
to
on the
negate.
Pankratops. Okay. So Foxy getting in, I believe Foxy's 1,000.
I believe so.
Okay, Gazelle for 15,
All of this to the face.
Balinks for 1,000, Heat Leo for 23, And Jack Jaguar for 18, I believe.
Yes, Jack Jaguar is 18.
Okay.
Oof,
400 left.
But Red Reboot doesn't care
Red
how much
Reboot
life
does
points you
exactly.
have.
Any card that says pay half your life just frightens me.
To me, it just gets better the lower life you have. The lower the life I have and I'm paying half, I
Well,
don't care.
John and I played when Solemn Judgment was at 3, so we have traumatic
Oh, traumatic.
experiences.
That single-handedly gave me my win,
Well,
excuse me.
okay, it goes both ways. You've had your fair share.
Yeah.
I may be at less than 500 life points, but I won the duel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been at 50 life points, which you probably can't do anymore.
The thing is, in Yu-Gi-Oh, your life points are a resource. It only matters when they hit 0.
And we do see 3 back row, but we know if Jesse can just get a push here. He does have is Darkworm still engraved from the bell?
I believe so. I never saw it move.
So we should be able to. Oh,
Oh, another Denko.
That's the one he gave him back. Did he know?
I thought he.
Oh,
shuffled
no. Mirage Stallion
Stallion,
bounced
yeah.
to hand. That's
Okay,
correct.
okay,
That's
okay.
correct.
He
He
did
puts
bounce
it back
it.
in
Correct,
hand,
yeah.
So
Heat
he knew he
Leo,
had it.
Heat Leo shuffles back.
So we
row,
should not
yeah.
have been too surprised.
Yeah.
827 viewers, over 800 of you guys out here for round 1 of the Pro Play Tour. Thank you guys so much for turning out.
And for proving me wrong in a good way.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh, that
he
hand
just
kick.
if you
it up.
missed it, Jesse used his Denko to attack into Heat Leo, and Jose was like super confused at what was happening because he didn't have any. He was just committing suicide.
Well, and at least Jesse did show the resilience game too of what this could do through multiple interruptions. and
Absolutely.
he really did show that the deck has its options, but it was just too much.
Yeah.